Good morning, my dear students. We start with the semester 2, Learn Well English. So, we start with the chapter 3.1. Name of the chapter is My Dog Marcus. The author was having a pet dog. And how was that dog? He describes in this story. The author asks, do you have a pet dog? What breed is it? What do you like most about it? If you have a pet, then what do you like about the pet? See, author has told that he had a pet and how he was behaving. That story he has written in this chapter. Author says he has a pet dog. It is a Saint Bernard. We call it Marcus. They have given the name Marcus. It is a huge handsome dog. You can see over here the dog is sitting, but quite lazy and stupid. The dog was very lazy and stupid. Anyone who has met Marcus will not believe that he recently had an idea. It was certainly the first idea he has ever had, and I can't imagine how he got it. Means the dog was very lazy and he was very tricky, and he had an idea in his mind how to harass the owner. The idea had something to do with making life easy for Saint Bernards. It is Marcus' belief that a day should consist of 16 hours of sleep. See, the dog used to think that it was his belief that you should have a 16 hours of sleep in a day, 6 hours of rest and 2 hours of intensive eating. Just sitting, eating and sleeping, nothing else. However, Marcus is occasionally called on to work, if you could call it. He is occasionally called to take a walk after breakfast as far as the nearest corner and back. A real dog would look forward to such a thing trembling in joy. He was lazy, so he doesn't wanted to go for a walk, just he wanted to have a breakfast and sleep. But to Marcus it was nothing less than slavery. He thought that my owner is misbehaving with me, and he feels that it was a slavery to go for a walk and all that. So his idea then was something like this. Now see, what was the idea of Marcus in his mind, what was going on. If I were deaf, I couldn't hear when they called me for a walk. Now he thinks that I should not go for a walk, I should not listen when they call me, and they wouldn't be able to move me because nothing can move me. So I will pretend to be the deaf. So what was the idea in his mind? Marcus' idea was that he will behave as a deaf, that he is not listening. One morning Marcus put his plan into action. Author's wife came to me with a disturbed look on her face. Poor Marcus has gone deaf, she exclaimed. Now she was calling and he didn't reply. So that lady thought that he is deaf. I cried, but he could hear perfectly well last night. I went into the kitchen and called him lovingly. Coming for a walk, Marcus? You are coming for a walk? Author asked. Then Marcus, like a perfect actor, gazed at me pathetically. It looked as though he was dying to hear what I was saying. After a good deal of shouting, we left him where he was. Means he didn't respond. So author left him. He rested his big head on its front paws and again went to sleep. He ignored that he is not listening what they are saying. We remained constantly worried about him. It took us a few days to notice that Marcus was only partly deaf. He could hear anything connected with food. Only when they called for food, he was able to hear, and other things he used to ignore. One Sunday, I was carving a joint when a tiny scrap of meat slipped from the fork and dropped on the carpet. Although Marcus was asleep in the kitchen some distance away, he hurtled into the dining room and gulped it down. Means for that voice he was able to hear that meat fell down on the carpet and he ran and took that meat. Hey, aren't you deaf? I said. Marcus' jaw and tail both dropped. He seemed to remember he was deaf. He was acting. Really, he was not deaf. Not much later, he failed to hear 3 repeated commands to come out for a walk. But he leaped to his feet at the arrival of the butcher. Now we became pretty sure that he was only pretending to be deaf. In the end, author's wife and he decided that Marcus had to be cured of his deafness. Marcus had gone deaf. We decided we would go silent when Marcus was around. We would go through the actions of speaking, but would not say a word. At first, Marcus looked puzzled, but soon he became really worried. Had he gone really deaf? The horrible part was we might be talking about food. The thought of what he might be missing was real torture to him. As we mouthed silently at each other, Marcus would stare painfully into our faces, trying to read. He was now never called for meals, so it was doubtful if he was having 16 hours of real sleep out of the 24, and he worried himself down to half his weight. Now the author and his wife made a plan that they will not call him for meal. Let's see whether he is able to listen, whether he is able to just come when the time comes for the meal or not. We kept this up for several days. Then we decided to restore Marcus' hearing. One morning I said in a loud voice, "Come on, Marcus, time for a walk, boy." An expression of beautiful relief appeared over his vast face, so he was not deaf at all. He bounded to his feet. He frisked to the gate like a lively pony. He joyously took one of the longest walks of his life, of about half a kilometer. So Marcus was not troubled again with his deafness.